In a quiet, peaceful West African village nestled between rolling hills and a meandering river, there lived a young woman named Amina. Amina was known for her hardworking nature and her love for family. She was a well-respected member of her small village, and like most villagers, she depended on her calabash for her daily needs, fetching water, storing food, and helping in the farm. Her calabash was not just a tool. It was special to her because her grandmother had given it to her on the day she became a woman. One morning, as Amina prepared to fetch water from the river, she went to her hut to grab her calabash and noticed that it wasn't where she usually kept it. Her heart sank. She searched every corner of her small hut. She looked under mats, behind her cooking fire, and in her storage corner. Still, no calabash. Confused and upset, she began retracing her steps around her garden, wondering if she had misplaced it somewhere outside. After a few minutes, she remembered that Kwaku, her neighbor, was always near the river. He had been helping other villagers with his fishing nets, and he might have borrowed her calabash. Overwhelmed with emotion, suspicion, and frustration, Amina made up her mind. Without further thought, she marched to Kwaku's home. Kwaku's home was modest, a small wooden structure with a thatched roof. He was just returning from his farm when Amina came to his door. Before he could greet her, Amina raised her voice. "Kwaku, I know you took my calabash. I've searched high and low for it, and I know you have it. Please give it back to me now." Kwaku stood still for a moment, startled by her words. He hadn't seen or touched her calabash, and he knew this accusation could stir trouble. "Amina, what are you talking about?" he said, his voice steady and calm. "I have not taken your calabash. I swear to you." But Amina was resolute, her heart clouded by anger. "Don't lie to me, Kwaku. I know it was you. You took it, and you must return it to me." The words hung in the air, sharp and heavy. Kwaku took a step back, his voice calm but firm. "Amina, I swear by the gods of our ancestors, I have not touched your calabash. Please, do not accuse me falsely." The two stood there, the tension growing between them. Soon, the villagers began gathering, drawn by the raised voices and a heated exchange. The villagers watched as Amina and Kwaku argued, their voices rising, both of them unwilling to give ground. It was at that moment that Nana Mensa, the elder of the village, appeared. Nana Mensa was a wise and respected leader, old in age but sharp in mind and heart. His voice was calm, and the villagers always looked to him in times of trouble. He stepped between Amina and Kwaku and raised his hand. Hold, my children," he said gently. His voice had a way of quieting even the most heated arguments. "This is not the way to solve a problem. A misunderstanding will only lead to more pain and hurt if it is not resolved with patience and wisdom. Let's calm ourselves and speak to one another without anger." The villagers waited in silence, watching the elder with respect. Nana Mensa's calm presence seemed to reduce the tension in the air. He looked at Amina and Kwaku. "Amina, Kwaku, listen to me. Sometimes when anger clouds the mind, we lose sight of the truth. Let's not let our emotions divide us. Let's find the calabash together." The villagers murmured their agreement, and Amina hesitantly nodded, feeling her anger begin to subside. Kwaku's expression softened. They would work together, the elder said, to search for the missing calabash. The search began. The entire village joined in. They went to the river, retracing Amina's steps. Some villagers searched in the tall grass near the riverbank. Others checked by her garden and the paths leading to her hut. Kwaku and Amina worked side by side, each scanning for the calabash, and soon they started to feel that perhaps the missing calabash would never show itself. But then, as they walked near a small pile of dried leaves by the river, one of the children shouted, "I found something." Everyone came running. It was a calabash buried under the dry leaves, just at the river's edge. Amina gasped as she saw it. She picked it up, her hands trembling. It was her favorite calabash, the one her grandmother had given her. "I must have left it here while cleaning," Amina said softly, her voice filled with relief and shame. She turned to Kwaku and looked into his calm eyes. "I am so sorry, Kwaku. I accused you without evidence, and I let my anger blind me. I should have trusted you." Kwaku looked at her for a moment and smiled gently. "We all make mistakes, Amina. The important thing is to learn from them and to own them when they happen." The villagers stood quietly, and with this simple exchange, peace was restored. Amina learned an important lesson that day, how anger can lead to misunderstandings and hurt feelings, but humility, trust, and dialogue could heal even the deepest wounds. Kwaku and Amina returned to their homes, their hearts light again. The village celebrated not just the discovery of the calabash, but the restoration of trust and understanding in their community.